To talk about this big India Today investigation and the Sonali Phogat case in general, I want to go across live and exclusive to Panjim in Goa, where I'm joined by the state's Director General of Police, Jaspal Singh. He's the man leading the teams investigating this sensational murder mystery. Mr. Singh, welcome to India Today. This is a case that's being tracked nationwide. Sonali Phogat, because of her TikTok and social media renown, was well known in the northern parts of our country. Can you start by telling me about where the Goa police's investigation stands as of today, Mr. Singh?
As of now, the investigation is just about 5 days old, and initially because there was no injuries on the body of the deceased, so we were just taking it as a case of 174 CRPC, that is unnatural death. And subsequently, when the family members came on 23rd August, then they expressed certain apprehensions, they raised suspicions on certain individuals, and subsequently we registered a case of murder and started the investigation in a very earnest way. And the two people were placed under arrest, and now one team from Goa police has already reached Hisar also to verify the allegations levelled by the family. These two persons are in police custody, and we are interrogating them, and at the same time we have also recorded the statements of other witnesses who were there at that time in that particular restaurant to establish the sequence of events which led ultimately to the death of late Mrs. Sonali Phogat. And the investigation is in progress, and we will definitely reach at some conclusion after some time.
The initial reports that came out of Goa had the police seeming to suggest Sonali died of a heart attack. Why was the police initially in such a rush to call this a case of heart attack? Why did it seem that you were looking to jump the gun initially?
No, Goa police never said initially that it is a heart attack. It was basically the person, the one who is now in our custody. He spoke to somebody in Haryana, and from Haryana, even the Director General of Police Haryana also spoke to me that so and so has probably died of heart attack, and we want to know what has exactly happened. So this is how the information traveled, and when our officers reached the concerned St. Anthony Hospital and found out, so the local doctors who had examined the deceased, they probably came to some conclusion that probably the symptoms were of heart attack. And this is how the message, because we had not even taken the body in possession at that time.
India Today's own investigation from Goa suggests that Sonali's body had external injury marks. The question that would be uppermost in everybody's mind is, how did the TikTok star die? Was she poisoned? Was she beaten up? How is it that Sonali ended up dead?
And those injuries which are there on the body, they could not have come by assaulting or by any impact injury. They are just injuries of force when some force is vertically supplied on the body. Because when she was picked up from Curly's hospital, so the injuries are on those parts where these individuals applied the pressure in lifting the body up and putting the body in the car. So those injuries are of very small dimension, and they are not exactly referred to as injury, they are just abrasions. So this is how it is.
India Today's expose caught drug peddlers, the manager of the Curly Shack, on camera accepting that drugs are sold at this particular shack in Anjuna, and suggesting that the local authorities and the Goa police know about it, and they seem to be on the take to allow this to happen. How do you respond, Mr. DGP?
No, it is incorrect to say that, because Goa police has a zero tolerance policy. We have arrested a number of drug peddlers, and not only Indians but foreigners also, and we have seized huge quantity, primarily being a iconic tourist destination. Tourists from here and there in different modes of transportation, they travel to Goa. So probably in certain cases we sometimes found when we arrested certain people that they bring small quantity of drugs for their consumption from other states as well. So we have so far arrested large number of people, and even after this incident also 4 people have been arrested, including the caretaker and the person who is in control of the Curly's restaurant.
Goa is India's holiday capital. What do you intend to do about acting against Curly's? Do you have a larger plan for a clampdown on this drug authority mafia? Will life just return to normal and these rave parties and drug jamborees go on in the way that they were? Or do you have a plan for acting against this drug syndicate?
You see, it is basically small time drug peddlers. There is no mafia operating in Goa, and the quantity seized also is in very small quantity. It's not like that, because we are not closer to any international border, and even maritime traffic is also very limited to Goa. So we don't see it that way. It is just that it is a iconic tourist destination like any other Indian tourist destination, where large number of tourists come and readily demand is available, people have the purchasing power. So the drug scenario, the structure of the drug scenario is different in Goa as compared to the locations which are closer to international border or which are closer to international maritime boundary. So it is, you can say in police parlance, we say it's a consumption center, small quantity consumption center.
Sure, but do you intend to act against places where these drugs are being provided for consumption? What action do you intend to take against Curly's, for example? Why don't you cancel its license?
Well, we are not the licensing authority. Yesterday a joint inspection was carried out by our sub-divisional police officer and the executive magistrate. So we will submit these findings, and we will also write to the licensing authority that since these incidents have happened in the past also, so we would recommend that the license of the owner should be cancelled.
Before I conclude, what happens next? Are you confident that you'll be able to crack the Sonali murder case files? What, according to you, is the motive behind this murder? Why is it that Sonali was killed?
You see, we are, as I said earlier, that we are at a very initial stage of investigation. The case was registered on 23rd, and today we are on 31st. Our team is in Hisar. They will go to Gurgaon also. They will go to Noida also, because family members expressed a suspicion that she has probably been killed because of the property. The team would look into all aspects, even about the banking accounts of the deceased also, who is the nominee in those accounts. So there are a number of ways in arriving at the motive of the murder, or whether it is a homicidal, not amounting to murder, murder. But though we have registered a case, and we are going as if it is a murder, and all kinds of leads are being pursued, so we will leave no stone unturned to arrive at any conclusion.
I leave it over there. Mr. Jaspal Singh, Director General of Police in Goa, speaking out for the first time on the Sonali Phogat murder files.